A slow metabolism is not just about eating too much or moving too little. It's often the result of small, overlooked imbalances that build up over time. Most people assume metabolism is fixed. You either have a fast one or a slow one, and that's it. But in reality, metabolism is a system influenced by daily habits, internal signals, and how your body manages energy. This is where products like CitrusBurn enter the conversation, claiming to support that system. But to understand that claim, you first need to understand the problem. A slow metabolism doesn't usually show up overnight. It tends to develop gradually. You might notice lower energy during the day, increased cravings, or difficulty maintaining a consistent weight, even when your habits haven't changed much. These are not random issues. They often reflect how your body is processing and using energy. One common misunderstanding is thinking that metabolism is only about burning calories. In reality, it also involves how your body regulates hunger, stores energy, and responds to activity. When these processes are not aligned, the system becomes less efficient. You may feel tired more often, rely on quick energy sources like sugar, and experience cycles of energy highs and lows. This is the gap that many supplements try to address. CitrusBurn is positioned as a product that supports metabolic function, but what does that actually mean in practical terms? It does not fix metabolism instantly. Instead, it aims to influence specific parts of the system that are often underperforming. One area often targeted is energy regulation. When your body struggles to maintain steady energy, it compensates by increasing cravings or reducing activity levels. Some ingredients in metabolic supplements are selected to support more stable energy output. The goal is not to create spikes, but to reduce inconsistency. Another factor is appetite control. A slow metabolism is frequently linked with irregular hunger signals. You may feel hungry even when your body doesn't need more energy. Supporting appetite regulation can help reduce unnecessary intake, which indirectly affects how the body manages stored energy. There is also the aspect of thermogenesis, which is often mentioned in discussions about fat burning. This refers to how the body produces heat and uses energy in the process. While the effect is usually modest, even small changes in how energy is used can influence overall efficiency when combined with consistent habits. However, focusing on individual effects can be misleading. One of the biggest mistakes people make is expecting a single ingredient, or even a single product to solve a system-level issue. Metabolism is not controlled by one pathway. It's the result of multiple processes working together. If one part improves but others remain unchanged, the overall impact can be limited. This is where the idea of structure becomes important. Instead of viewing CitrusBurn as a standalone solution, it's more useful to see it as one component within a broader routine. Its role, if effective, would be to support certain functions like energy consistency or appetite balance, while other factors such as diet, sleep, and activity provide the foundation. For example, if someone has inconsistent eating patterns, poor sleep, and low activity levels, adding a supplement may not create noticeable change. But if those areas are relatively stable, even small support in metabolic processes can become more relevant. Another point to consider is expectation. Many people look for immediate results, but metabolic changes tend to be gradual. The body adjusts over time, not instantly. Products that aim to support metabolism are usually designed to work alongside consistent behavior, not replace it. This leads to a key insight. The effectiveness of something like CitrusBurn is less about the product itself and more about how it fits into a system. If the system is disorganized, the impact will likely be minimal. If the system is structured, even small adjustments can have a more noticeable effect. In other words, the question is not just does it work, but where does it fit? Understanding this can change how you evaluate not only CitrusBurn, but any supplement. Instead of focusing on promises or isolated claims, you begin to look at how each element contributes to the overall process. A slow metabolism is rarely caused by one single issue, and it's rarely improved by one single change. It's a combination of factors, and any meaningful improvement usually comes from aligning those factors over time. So when you hear that a product targets slow metabolism, it's worth asking, which part of the system is it actually addressing, and how does that connect to everything else you're doing? That perspective tends to be more useful than looking for quick fixes. In the end, CitrusBurn can be seen as a tool, not a solution on its own, but a potential support within a larger structure. Whether it makes a difference depends largely on how it's used and what surrounds it. If you want to take this further, start by looking at your own routine. Identify where energy drops, where habits are inconsistent, and where small adjustments might create better balance. That's the foundation where any supplement, including CitrusBurn, would have the best chance to contribute. If this breakdown helped you understand how metabolism actually works behind the surface, consider subscribing for more structured explanations like this. And if you want to review the product details and see how it's presented, there's a link in the description where you can explore that information in context.